session. So normally we are on LinkedIn and YouTube. Nice to see you all today. If you're here, you can just put your question or your comments in the chat. I'll see them. So there is always a few minutes between the moment you post a comment or a question and I actually see it. So really nice to see you all. I hope you're all fine. So I'm Cecile. I'm one of the managing director of Time for the Planet, and I'm here like we do regularly to answer all your questions you may have about Time for the Planet. So you can really ask anything you want. So before having your question, I'll just start by telling you what we do. So some of you probably already know, and some other may not know about Time for the Planet. And that's it. So what is Time for the Planet? What do we do? So Time for the Planet is basically a citizen fund, a non-profit citizen fund. And what we do is to detect and finance innovation to tackle climate change. So the first thing, we know that a lot of innovation today already exists. Scientists tell us a lot of innovation already exists, but one of the main challenges is lots of innovators are great innovators and they are innovative ideas, but they are not entrepreneurs, so they are not really business people, which is normal. Some of them are great entrepreneurs, but lots of them are not. And that's a real challenge because even the best idea, if you don't have the good execution to go to the market, then it will not spread. So one of the first things we do when we want to invest in a project, if there is not an entrepreneur in the team, someone who is actually able to execute the strategy, we will hire a successful entrepreneur to join the team. So that's the first thing we do, and we match them with the innovator. Once we have the innovator and the entrepreneur, we will have basically inject funds to accelerate the deployment. And so we have three main core values that we always apply, no matter what investment we do and what we do. The first thing is Time for the Planet must be for everyone. So everyone is concerned by climate change, and everyone will face the same consequences as climate change. So Time for the Planet must be for everyone. So basically, the way we do that is anyone really can become a shareholder. It's from 1 share, which is around €1, £1, $1 US. So not exactly, but around this. And basically, you will be able to invest wherever you are. So if you are a student and you just want to buy 1 share, you can. If you want to invest 1,000 in 1,000 share, you can. So it's really up to you. And we also welcome any organization, so companies, funds, banks, whoever it is, can become shareholder of Time for the Planet. So it's really open to everyone. The second thing is we will spread innovations through open source models. So we use free license to do that. And basically the idea is the innovation we are going to invest in and to spread, they need to go as fast as possible everywhere in the world so they can have a major impact on greenhouse gases everywhere. And so we will allow anyone to apply for a free license, which will be for free, and to use the innovation, commercialize the innovation, and make improvement of it. Something really important is instead of being competing, we will have a cooperation. So anyone making an improvement to an innovation will have to share it with all the licensees. So this way it goes a lot faster to make it better. And it also goes a lot faster to spread around the world. So instead of just funding innovation in one company, we will create a market which will make it a lot faster. And the last thing is we are a nonprofit, which can sound a little bit surprising for a fund. But so we are a nonprofit because all the money you will put in Time for the Planet will be used to finance innovations and to finance innovations against climate change. And so all the profit will get back from the participations we have in any company, any innovation we invested in. Instead of distributing it through financial dividend to our shareholders, we will reinvest them entirely in new innovations. So this way, we are always prioritizing the financing of innovations, and we can go faster to tackle climate change. What you will get as a shareholder is what we call climate dividend. So climate dividend It's a very basic concept. One climate dividend is 1 ton of CO2 equivalent that is saved or captured. And this will allow you as a shareholder to know exactly the impact of your investment. So at the end of the year, you will receive climate dividend depending on what your investment and what we have been able to save or capture in CO2 equivalent, thanks to the innovation that we finance this year and the year after that as well. So you will get an actual return on your impact. So that's what we call climate dividend. And actually, what's quite interesting is we decided to build this tool because we needed it for all shareholders, but we actually don't want it just to be for Time for the Planet. So one of the big goals is to be able to spread it and to have it as a financial standard in impact financing. So that's it. That's really the goal. Is anyone in the world will be able to use climate dividend, not only Time for the Planet, and it will become a global standard in finance. And we are actually working with lots of people around this. You might know Gold Standard. You know, probably the United Nations. We also work with part of the French government, so the Agency for the Ecological Transition in France. We work with KPMG, so lots of people are involved in this process. And our goal is to make Time for the Planet the best investment in terms of return on climate dividends, so to have the biggest impact, which we will be able to do in part because we select the best innovations to have a global impact, but also thanks to the open source spreading of the innovation. So because we have we spread innovation through open source model, we will have all the licenses having this impact. So we will get a bigger impact than if we were doing just on ourselves. So yeah, that's about it on what is Time for the Planet. I can explain you a lot more. If you have questions, just put them in the chat and I'll see them probably a few minutes after you put them. Normally it's 1-2 minutes, I think, to get it. And while your questions are coming, if there are no questions, that's fine. You will have explanation about Time for the Planet. And I'll just have lunch earlier, so that's also cool. But in the meantime, I'll just show you very quickly the innovations, where you can find them on our website and how you can see what we do and all of that. So I'll share my screen. So here you have the website of Time for the Planet. So this is the main page. And when you're here, you can click on innovations, and then you will be able to see the innovation we finance, all the innovation we received, and you can also submit your innovation if you are an innovator. So if you look at the innovations finance, you will find the one we have already invested in. We call them stars. So that's the one we already made an investment. So if you want to learn more about it, and actually I see one is in French, because actually when they put the innovation on the platform, it's in the language they want, so either French or English. But we don't translate all of them, but we translate the one we invest in, but we didn't do it because it's a very new, these two, so I need to do it. The other three we invested last year, so they are already translated, but soon they will be in English as well. So you can see all the stars. You can see the one submitted to the general meeting. So you see, for example, Paradox. It's one of the innovation we are going to invest in. We are finishing all the negotiation to invest in Paradox. We validated it during the general meeting, but we didn't investment yet. So that's why it's not a star. And then you'll see the different steps. So our steps to select an innovation, we first call so we receive them. We have a very simple pre-filter just to make sure that it's actually around the greenhouse gases, because sometimes we have innovation that are really interesting, but not around greenhouse gases. We also check that they have enough information for us to assess them after. So you see, you actually have lots of received, but then we have a pre-filter to make sure that we actually are in the scope of action of Time for the Planet and have enough information to assess them. Then we have a first step, which is the assessors. So the assessors, they can be anyone really. So it's based on collective intelligence. And we will have people who are scientists, but also who are not scientists, anyone, they will assess the innovation. How it works is we give them a 1-hour training. So we explain them what are our criteria, how it works to assess an innovation. And then they will be able to do that, to do this work. And once they when they are ready to assess, they can assess whenever they want. There is no minimum or anything. And we need at least 50 assessors to assess one innovation to be able to have a result that is significant and to know if this innovation has a potential that justifies to go to our scientific committee. So once we've done that, the ones that are actually, we say, okay, there is enough potential, we will send them to our scientific committee. They will go through the scientific committee. So our scientific committee, there are 14 people who are from different fields. They are all very high level people who actually are expert in their field, and they will meet every 4 months, once every 4 months. If we need, we can have them meet more, but normally it's once every 4 months. And they will assess the innovations, challenge them, have a time with innovator to discuss the innovation, to make audit if it's needed, and all of that. And if they validate the innovation, then we'll go through economic viability. So basically here we are going to do actual tests. So we will go to the market to actual potential clients and see if they would buy the solution, what's missing, what are the next step for the innovation to be able to do that, to actually grow a market and all of that. And we'll also test the team, so see if the team is working well together, if we need to add an entrepreneur to the team. If that's the case, we will find this entrepreneur and start having this person working with the team to see if it's working well. And if it's all good and we say, okay, we want to invest in this innovation, we will go to the general meeting. So during the general meeting, all shareholders, no matter if you have 1 share, if you have 1,000 share, if you invested just €1, £1, whatever it is you invested, you will be invited to the general meeting. So you will be able to vote if you want to. And then we will give you all the information about the innovations, so the results from the assessment, the result from scientific committees, the results from the market test as well. And you will say yes or no. So basically we'll say, okay, we think this one we should invest 1 million for the next 6 months because we need to hire a scientific director, for example, we need to do a demonstrator, whatever it is that is needed, we will tell you why we want to do this investment. And then for each innovation we submit to you, you will say yes or no to this innovation. So that's how it works in a nutshell. So that's it for me. Oh, and yeah, I will also show you how to become a shareholder if you want to. So if you want to become a shareholder, when you are on the website, you can just go on buy shares. That's quite easy. That's quite intuitive to do. So if you go to buy shares, then you can, so it just switch it to French, but go back to English. So if you are on buy share, so if you don't have this good language, you can just find it here back. And so here you will be able to say, okay, I'm an individual or you are a company, depending on who you are, what you want to do. You can buy share, but you can also offer share as gift. And if you have a gift voucher, you can also use it here. And so you have some explanation about what it is Time for the Planet, what we do with your money. You also have the AMF. The AMF is the regulatory body in France for investment. So you see here, there is like all the risk information from the AMF as well, because we are working with them. So your investment is an actual real safe investment and all of that. So you don't have any risk as a shareholder. The only risk you have is just to lose your money, because we can not succeed, but you cannot have anything that you will have as having debts or anything. So that's not a problem. So as a citizen, you can just see how many people actually bought shares last week. So it's in euro here, because we are France based. But when you will go on the forum, it will give more or less what's the cost in USD and in pounds as well. So you can have an estimation depending where you are as well. So if you click on it, you will just have a form that will be opened. It's about 2 minutes to become a shareholder, so it's really quite fast forward. You just give your name, give the number of shares you want to buy. You can do your payment directly on the website, and that's it. And you are a shareholder. So really, anyone can become a shareholder. It's open to everyone. So yeah, that's it. I think for Time for the Planet. If you have any question, I know we are in the middle of summer and we have been all very hot lately, so our brains are not working so much lately. But if you have any question, you can just ask me in the chat. If you don't, that's okay, because it means that you have all the information you needed for today. I'll of course wait a little bit, but if that's fine for you, then I'll just go have lunch, because it's actually, I'm in the UK. I live in London, so it's nearly 1 p.m. So once I've finished this live session, I'll go for lunch. So yeah, that's up to you now. I see we have a hello from Carl. So hello, Carl. I can show the questions when you have some. So this way you can follow up with what question are at the moment. Well, I think everyone is enjoying summer break, so I don't see any question for now, but that's okay. Well, maybe I was very, very clear, and that's why you don't have any question now. No, just kidding. I probably wasn't very, very clear, but some of you probably already know Time for the Planet because you are following the page, so you might already have all the information you needed as well. So yeah, well, I think we might wrap it up. So this way we can all go back to, so depending where you are, to your lunch, to your dinner, to whatever it is, because we might have people from everywhere. I know Carl is in France, but I don't know the other one. So yeah, I'll wait till 12:50 because it's 12:47 right now for me. So at the time you will hear what I say, it might not be the same time exactly because of the difference of the time difference like between the time I speak and the time you hear me. But I will wait for 3 more minutes, and if we don't have any question, I'll just go back to lunch. And in the meantime, because I'm not going to just stay and watch my screen, and that will be a little bit boring, I'll very quickly talk about our community, because we have a community of volunteers which is really, really great, and Carl is actually one of them. So if you want, so you can of course become a shareholder and buy shares, but you can also help Time for the Planet to grow if you want to. So we have a community of people who are helping Time for the Planet to grow. So if you are on the website and you click on Take Action as an individual, you can join the Galaxy of Action. The Galaxy of Action is the name of our community. So it's people, so we have lots of people today in the Galaxy of Action doing lots of stuff. So some are proofreading some content, some are just it's hard today, I can do it. Well, anyway, they are doing conferences. We will do this way. I don't know why I can't say this word today. Anyway, so yeah, so they do conferences. Some are organizing again some activities. So there is lots of things happening, and the way we do that is we gather people together in what we smaller community, which is by skills or by location. So for example, there is a London community here. So that's a very easy way to have people put together. You don't have a minimum time you have to give to Time for the Planet. It's up to you. And the only thing you have to do is to join the Galaxy, is to go through a 1 hour presentation. So we will explain to you how it works and how you can interact with the community and all of that. This way you're not lost. But once you've done this, you can really do whatever you want. So some of our shareholders and people in the Galaxy of Action are like calling the new shareholders to tell them about a welcome and let them have any questions they may have. So that's it. And since I spoke about the assessor as well, in the same place take action as an individual, you can also click on become an assessor. And so on this, you can take the training to be an assessor. It's 1 hour. It's anyone can do it. And there is, if I'm not wrong, one on Tuesday, the 9th, I think, of August, which will be the last one of this session, because we do assessment session 1.5 months every 4 months. And so this basically during this period you can assess, and we do also training at the same time. So right now there is one last training for the current session, because the current session will end mid of August. So yeah, that's it if you want to become an assessor. All right. Oh, I have some questions from Beatrice. Can you update us on how it is moving in the UK? Hello from Madrid, where it is really too hot to work. Yeah, I can imagine. Right now in London, it's not too bad. It was at one point really bad, but now we're back to kind of normal situation. But we had a few very, very hot days, and it's actually really hard to work when it's really hot. So how it is moving in the UK? So right now, so what I didn't say, so we were founded in France, but now we are expanding in other countries. And the first country we decided to expand is the UK. So that's why I'm living in London right now. So the goal is to find the founders of Time for the Planet in each country. And we are looking for 2 very specific profiles. So the 2 must be people who are entrepreneurs or have an entrepreneur mindset. And one of the profile needs to be focus on the engaging the community of shareholders, of citizen shareholders. So it's more like an influencer kind of profile, who is able to produce content, to make people want to follow the adventure, to come in the adventure. And the second profile is someone who is more on raising funds to major investors, to companies, to business angels, whatever it is, but people who have the capacity of investing more. So that's the 2 profiles we are looking for right now. And that's one of my big work. So right now in the UK, I am meeting lots of people around this. It's a very specific profile again, so it's not easy to find the right fit, but I have been meeting lots of people. I don't have yet anyone who I can tell you there will be in the team soon, but it's going on. And we also, at the same time, because that's my main job, but still at the same time, I'm starting to develop a little bit the community here, having shareholders, having events, and all of that. So we are increasing in terms of shareholder. We have the first community here, based here in London. So this summer it's a little bit quiet because it's summer, but we have a community of shareholders now doing stuff in London, which is pretty cool. There are meeting and there are more, so that's quite nice. And yeah, so it's going on, but still lots of work to do to find the people we need. And hopefully soon enough we will have them. But again, it takes time, and I hope in a few months we will have them trained and ready to go, so I can go to the next country. But I don't know yet when it will be. Another question, are there already some open source license being negotiated on any of our innovations through the world? So for the innovation, for the free license, when we will do this, it's when an innovation is mature enough. So we don't do it at the very beginning. We have on some innovations some ask around this, but most of them, they are not ready yet to have like a free license that we can actually give. The first one probably will be one we call Cool Roof, because it's a more mature one. It's a paint for roofs that is a wine paint with a very specific formulation from oyster shells that reflects the light, so you can cool the temperature in the buildings. And so for this one, we will probably launch the free license by the end of the year, beginning of next year. So right now, that's the stages where we are. Hopefully with Cool Roof, we will see a little bit more how it works, and we will see how it goes. For all the other, we had demands, but we are not yet putting the free license because we have some work to do before, so the innovation is mature enough to put it in a free license model. So hopefully soon enough, we will have more information on that. About the assessor, did you have a rough number of those trained in English? How many people you train by session? So the English session, this question is because it's actually very new to have an English session for assessors. Before we had only for French people, which was it's been going on for more than 1 year now for French. But actually for assessors, it's the third session we will have, if I'm not wrong. So we only had 2 sessions till now. And it's the fourth session. We had 3 sessions, and for the 3 session we had around 10 something people, which is actually not a lot if you compare to French session, because in French now we sometimes train more than 200 people, because Time for the Planet is very well known in France, and the assessors as well are very well known in France. That's something that, because we share on social media, and the more people we have, it's like a snowball effect. But still, I mean, with English, we still have around maybe 30 assessors or something that are trained in English, which is great, knowing that till now no one knew about that. So it's actually quite nice, and hopefully we'll go more and more. And the more people we have as assessor who are excited about being assessor, the more they will share about this, and probably the more we will have during our session. So I can't wait to have the first session in English with 100 people. That will be a very nice milestone. But right now, we are around 10. So if you want to be an assessor, just come, and that's a very nice adventure. It's based on collective intelligence, and it's a very nice way to participate just when you have time. You don't have any pressure on that. So if you want to do just one assessment a year, it's fine. If you want to do one every day, it's fine as well. So it's really up to you. And it's a very nice way to participate and to discover new innovation as well. So Bea said, gracias for the answer. Carl and I did not want you to go to have lunch too early. Yeah, I know. But it's nearly 1 p.m., so I'll be able to go to have lunch, and that's going to be fine. But thank you. I mean, you are in Spain, so you don't want people to have lunch too early. I mean, in the UK, we like to have lunch a little bit more before you. Carl says, he hesitated to let me go. No, that's fine. It's always a pleasure to answer questions anyway, and it's nicer to have a little bit of interaction with people than just pitching Time for the Planet. So I probably wrap it up just in one sentence. If some people just arrive at the end and don't know what is Time for the Planet, very quickly, Time for the Planet is a non-profit citizen fund to detect and finance innovations to tackle climate change. And the way we do that is by matching innovators with entrepreneurs when it's needed, because lots of innovators today are not business people, not entrepreneurs. And then we inject funds. And we have basically 3 core principles. The first one is Time for the Planet is for everyone. So anyone can become a shareholder. Anyone can invest in Time for the Planet. You, your sister, your brother, your father, your cousin, your friends, anyone can become shareholder of Time for the Planet from 1 share, which is around, so it's €1, around $1 or £1, depending on the change. And anyone can become a shareholder, organization, people, anyone. The second thing is we spread innovation through open source models, so it's free license. So if we give access freely to people around the world to use innovation, commercialize it, and improve it, and that's through what we call a free license, so that's through a contract of free license. And finally, we are non-profit, which means our shareholders that don't get any return in terms of financial dividend for their investment, they get what we call climate dividend, which is a return on impact. And so 1 climate dividend is 1 ton of CO2 equivalent that is captured or reduced thanks to your investment. And that's it. So that was just if we had some people arriving at the end and don't really knowing what is Time for the Planet. Now you know. And I think we'll wrap it up. It's nearly 1 p.m. in 1 minute. Thank you very much for everyone. If you have any other question, you can always contact us on the website. And you can also just send a message to someone from the team. We have this kind of session every month. So it's once every month in English right now. So it's the first Monday of every month. We do this session, this Q&A session. We will increase it when we see there is a need. Right now, you see, we don't have so many people yet in English, but in French we have lots of people. So hopefully, thanks to you, to all of you, we will have lots of people in English very soon. And that's it. Thank you, everyone. Have a good lunch if you didn't yet, depending on where you are, or a good dinner, depending where you are in the world. And I hope to see you soon. Bye-bye.